Y'all, so I ran into this post about how men are now going overseas to find wives, mainly because women that are overseas are more submissive. Let me enlighten you.
The Passport Bros movement is currently trending. Apparently men are going cross seas to foreign countries to find more submissive women. Y'all check out this video.
I told you guys this before, like most girls from the United States don't know and or care about Passport Bros. Long story short, she was right. It's basically guys going to other countries to find women that are more feminine and submissive and more traditional, more attractive. Colombia,
I get that.
Philippines.
So do you that?
Hey, this seems to be the new wave. Men have been posting clips of some of the catches they've been getting. Y'all check out this dude.
Passport Bros, you guys want to hear a success story? Look what I pulled from the old country, right?
Before I get started, let's pull up the word submissive. Submissive, ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly, obedient, or passive.
Nigga, what? You're a victim.
So what are we now, dogs? Men like this are looking for someone to control, someone to be obedient, and we are not animals. And as a first-generation Sierra Leonean, I have watched this happen, even with my own uncles. I have one uncle, he brought 3 wives here, okay? And he got left. They all educate themselves, and they were gone. Peace. What a lot of women are realizing is that the math ain't mathing. So you want me to do all this and basically be your slave, because that's what it is being your slave. And what am I going to get? Unless you're a millionaire, then yeah, a lot of these women will be more submissive. You know, because that's basically like a job. You're giving her a job. I want you to do this and this, do this and this and this. And you want to treat her like a dog. You won't have to pay her for that. Some of these men's priorities are totally messed up. The goal should be finding a godly woman instead of trying to find a submissive woman, because a submissive woman is really someone you want to be your slave. You want a slave. That's exactly what it is. So find you a godly woman, because a woman is meant to be your helpmate, not meant to be your slave. That woman, your wife, is meant to be someone that has your back through hard times and all that. You want her to do all this stuff, and what does she get? What is you doing for her? Priorities are like so messed up, and get it together. So I just had to speak on that. What do y'all think?
All right. On behalf of the Passport Bros, I'm not really a Passport Bros. I understand and I get it. I think a lot of women are looking at this the wrong way. I feel like women see men going overseas to grab a woman that is controlling and submissive so he could pretty much take advantage of her, which is not what's going on with Passport Bros. Majority of Passport Bros are those guys who attempted to be with Western women, gave their all to Western women, wanted to treat Western women right. These are guys that are looking to love a woman. It's just that when you go overseas, a lot of those girls over there, they're willing to accept the love from a man. They're willing to accept the romance from a man. They're willing to accept what a man has been taught. Western men are taught to be simps by their mother. So they naturally only know how to treat a woman good. But Western women are taught to compete with the man and dominate the man. So when you have men who are programmed to love a woman, but you have women who are programmed to just test women, to test men, to belittle men, and to always have men under pressure, men go to love and they get rejected. Men's emotion towards women have been rejected because women are challenging them. That's why men who want to love are going overseas, where they're much more appreciated on the romantic side. That's what women are not understanding. You have guys out there that have heart of steel, and I'm one of them. I'm a Gemini. We don't have too much compassion. We actually look at life as a game. Some people look at us like we're emotional-less. So we can handle what's going on with women. But you have guys out there who don't think like me, who don't act like me, who don't live the lifestyle I live, that they just want to love. And I have friends that are like that. I have friends that look at me and say, Anthony, man, why didn't you just do this? Anthony, why are you like this? Anthony, why did you do this? Especially when I was younger, because they were lover boys. Men who only want to love are traveling abroad so they can get the biggest bang out of their buck. There's no reason for them to sit around and try to love a woman who's doing nothing but belittling him. And I think most women are not taking that into perspective.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
No,
Why?
no.
I want to be married.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas to
If men
find
are
husbands?
traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood, for their resources, to have a good life. And I don't think that that is a good thing.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
Men trash.
Cis, heterosexual men, absolutely, especially white men.
Weren't you just talking about equality?
Oh, absolutely, but...
An ugly guy chance, he thinks he rules the world.
I said that we as women have to assume that all men are rapists, stalkers, and murderers.
Do you think men are important? Like for what?
To speak about their day, like who cares?
Remind me that I don't need a man and men are useless. When should I remind you? Every damn day. Next line, you gotta look me in my eyes. If you think I'ma sweat you, you out your mother.
And these are some of the exact reasons why men are traveling overboard. It's because of appreciation. Women act like they do not appreciate men who are trying to appreciate them. I always explain in love, there's always one chasing the other. And the one that's being chased actually feels entitled or privileged that the person that's chasing them should just bow down to them. That's why you saw the one girl say, hey, you give an ugly guy a chance, he'll take advantage of it. No, he didn't take advantage of it. It's just that you thought just because you look better than him, he was supposed to automatically treat you a certain way. Just the same way women may bait and switch a guy where they act a certain way, then when they get them, they flip and turn on to something else. You have men that do the same thing to women, that'll butter him up, get close, and once they get the kitty cat, they're going to leave. There's always one chasing the other. But whenever you have a group of men who have things to offer and who are looking to love, the Western woman tends to play the game longer. Traveling abroad is big on the internet, but it's not quite big in real life. A lot of guys that I come across and that I've seen, I've noticed the more you have your life together, the more you have the pick of the litter. But I've noticed the guys who are the most sensitive, those are going to be the ones that cannot handle playing the game. This is why they choose to go overseas to get a woman who can match his energy.
Breaking news about this phenomenon known as the passport bro movement rapidly sweeping across the nation. Now more than ever, thousands of men are choosing to leave the American landscape in hopes of finding not only real peace, appreciation, respect, kindness, and love, but also a much more rewarding peaceful life. Although highly diversified, this dynamic grouping of men possess a uniquely bonding factor that unites them in spirit, and that factor is understanding their true value and real worth within the global dating market. Unfortunately, for a lot of the women within the West, the cat is out of the bag, and these men simply refuse to settle for anything less. No longer willing to stand idly by and be shamed, insulted, and guilted, these men have flipped the script and are literally on the move.
With serious issues plaguing the American landscape like weekly mass shootings, a highly biased family court system, questionable paternity issues, the ridiculous rise in the cost of living, nationwide rising racial tensions, and numerous growing economic uncertainties, many of these men have simply opted to look elsewhere for a better quality of life. Much more than simply dating overseas, this movement reflects the valid concerns of millions of men across America and the Western Hemisphere and is showing no signs of slowing down.
Better life. A lot of guys don't want to live the fast life. They don't want to live the status life that women are chasing. Women in the Western countries are seeking status, which means that they have a price on their heart. They have a price on their emotions. They have a price on the way that they act. So a man is constantly spending money in order to bribe his woman into loving him. That's one of the biggest mistakes that's happening here, is that we have an exchange of goods. Men exchange their money and the women pretends to love them. But when you go overseas, these type of women have already came from a more humbling background. They're not seeking status. They're actually just seeking love and somebody to be with. Now, is it all women that's doing it overseas? No. It's still a small percentage of women that's going to be truly thoughtful and truly loving towards the man that's coming there. A lot of these girls, just to be honest, they're trying to get a meal ticket to the United States so they can also chase the status that they see in the American women. Why? Because they have Instagram as well. They have YouTube as well. They have the internet. The internet is the biggest brainwashing system that's out there. So just because a man is going overseas to seek a better quality life, it is not guaranteed, but it's more likely to happen than it is in Western countries.
The countries that have less money and less education is because the countries that have less money and less education is because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood.
So that sounds like a pretty good point, doesn't it? Oh, men just want women they can manipulate. So I wouldn't ask ChatGPT. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, you got to Google it. And these are the results. So I asked the artificial intelligence, what is the percentage of women in Thailand who have a college degree up to the year 2020? I'm using Thailand because that's one of the places that men are traveling to overseas for wives. According to the United Nations Development Program, the estimated percentage of women in Thailand with a bachelor's degree or higher was 29.7% in 2020. What is the percentage of women in the United States who have a college degree up to the year 2020? According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the percentage of women aged 25 and older in the U.S. with a bachelor's degree or higher was 36.3%, a 7% difference. And it still means in both countries, there's an overwhelming amount of women that are not college educated. So why do they continue to use the argument that men are looking for women that are easier to manipulate with less money who are uneducated? How does that?
One of the reasons why they're using that is because guys keep posting tramps. They keep posting 304s. Hey guys, we're in Thailand. Look at how the girls are treating us. And it's like, well, look at the road that you're on. Look at the girls around you. You're showing them that girls for the streets want you. That's the biggest mistake that a lot of passport bros have made, is that you're making it look like these girls in the streets trying to make money are the ones that you guys are marrying. They're making you feel good. No, you could go to Skid Row in LA and feel the same way. You can go to 27th Street in Miami and back down in Overtown as well and feel the same way. You can go to Vegas and feel the same way. There's plenty of girls that are going to make you feel like a king whenever you get to where you got to get to. That's why women are saying you're going over there to get the easy girls. Passport bros, or if you're going to do it, stop posting tramps that want you.
Up here because it was annoying to do. So in Spain, it's 38.6%. In Colombia, it is 27.9%. So these aren't huge percentage gaps. Now, if you just listen to what the men that are going over to these countries are saying, they're saying they want women that are feminine, submissive, kind, intelligent, and not hyper aggressive with huge egos, similar to the women in the States. Now, if you don't believe that that's true, here's another clip.
I'm a single mother of 6 with another one on the way. Don't hit me up to waste mine or my kids' time. I'm a mom. I'm a good mom, and my kids will always come first. You will pay for the first date, and don't expect me to drink with you either. I have standards.
I'm going to stop it right there, but I have 6 kids with one on the way. And you are boldly trying to dictate the interaction before it even begins, and that's a Tinder profile. But what do y'all think? Why do you think men are going overseas? Why do you think the women in the U.S. are upset about it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to catch y'all later.
One of the reasons why men are going overseas is because of the delusion of a woman. But the delusion of a woman has her to believe that men are going to always want her based off her DM. That's why women have such an ego when it comes to men. It's because they're getting their egos off of the internet. They're getting it off of the chat rooms. They're getting it off of dating sites. These aren't really guys in the physical world that are approaching them. Their power is online. They can control those guys. But most men are not looking for love online. So when you have a woman whose ego is based off the men online, it throws reality off. Why sit up and talk to a baby mother of 5 as if she's a supermodel and got it going on because she's been socially programmed through the internet, when you could go over to another country where these girls have distinguished the difference between reality and real life? Not all, just a small percentage that the men can get to. But when it comes down to traveling abroad, me personally, I did 8 years in the military. I spent a lot of time overseas. I've been seeing guys go over there to get women. But one thing that I don't notice is it being an epidemic. I feel like it's only an epidemic online. In real life, I don't know a passport bro. Hopefully you guys got the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.